So here's the deal. I'm installing this gas heater, and I need to put the tank in somewhere. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to show you guys where I'm putting the tank in. Here we go. It's a diesel gas heater, and it's already mounted to the floor. And around here is where I want to put the tank. Right in this rusted spare tire well. And I think that's going to be the perfect spot for it. We're going to find out. Either way, I've got to cut that rust out of the spare tire well and make it so that it's taken care of. Yeah. Big boy. 10 liters. Boom. Going down in there. Then we'll make a little plate for around the top of it, seal it off, anchor it down, bracket it up. It'll stick down into the engine bay over in the corner here, and it should be a happy time. Oh yeah, there's our engine, having a nice life. We're gonna be tearing that out in about 3-4 days. So there we go. Gas heater for under the back seat. And because today's bitterly cold, drying over here in front of the lovely space heater that I have in my shop are the heater ducts for under the back seat. So the under the back seat heater ducts, just chilling and drying, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to be going about putting those in as well. Hey! Now, if I were going to fix this, I could fix it. But I'm not. It's a pretty clean job. There's some leaves down there. Here, come with me. Check it out. A view from above. So you can see where the spare tire well used to be, right? It was there, but now it's not. There's still a nice little cover for it that's kind of clever and cute. So, might be able to use that cover. If we want to just drop in on the engine, we can always do that. Just to have a look-see on the engine. Oh, hey, there you are, right? And then like, yo, I'm over here. All right, you guys get it. Oh, hey, I should probably try and put the tank down in there. Look at me having too much fun with the camera and gimbal situation, right? Forgot to put the tank down in. So here we go, tanking it up. That's as far down as it fits. It's lame. I hate it. Didn't work at all. So we're gonna come up with a different solution. No big deal. I'm gonna try and rework it up from underneath. I'll show you guys what that looks like. I'm pretty sure that this is not going to work. My gimbal is just having a time of it today. It's not liking me at all. One bit. Is that really what my hair's doing today? vanity. So here's where we're at with the gas heater. I've got an aluminum bracket that I've installed threaded inserts into to hold the gas tank in place. This is the new stainless steel fuel tank that will work out much better for this situation. Now, if I were feeling all awesome and cool and we weren't on a tighter budget than we are, we're on a super tight budget with this, but if we weren't on the tight budget, then I would actually have built a stainless steel diesel gas tank to fit the spare tire well that was all rusted out. And we would install that and it would be all slick. So the reason why I'm just fabbing this one up with bracketry is because maybe we want to do that in the future. And this will be easily removable and it won't be like grinding a whole bunch of welds and a whole bunch of junk like that. So there's a lot of different ways that I could have gone about this that would be slicker maybe, but I wanted ease of use, friendly, removable, you know, that kind of thing. Here we are now inside the engine bay. Whoa, no engine! Holy smokes, there's a fuel tank. We're gonna weld right by. That's gonna be fun. Clear a little patch. I'm gonna rest my light here. Hopefully that does us justice. Ooh, hang on. All right, that'll work. I've cleared a little patch over here, and that is for this little bracket that we've got to weld to. So that guy's gonna weld up something like right about there, right? And then once that little deal's welded up, then the gas tank's gonna be pretty much fully installed. I'm yanking the tank a little bit. There we go, that's where it'll be. We're giving it a little tension so that it's happy in there, because I'm thinking I'm only gonna 3-point it. I don't think I'm gonna do anything about this other point. But if I want to, I could come up from this incredibly rusted tray and bring another point off of the tray. And we may wind up doing that. We're just going to see how strong and how good it feels with the 3 holding it down. But here we go. We're going up, going up. So there you can see it's, you know, got threaded inserts on this aluminum bracket for both the tank and the bracket to be held to the bus. There's a rough edge on the underside there that I need to take care of so nobody cuts themselves. But it's going to be plated over, so from the top side, so nobody will really be like, you know, reaching their hand around here or whatever. But I'll still take and get some of that off of there just for the sake of humanity. And that's what we've got, right? That's going to be a good time. Then fuel outlet here, and then we can run it, you know, through a grommet and, you know, similar to where the wiring loom is coming through, or through the fuel thing and the stuff, and then down through the frame and, you know, over and under and back and through. We're also going to get a tube that's going to connect. This is a good time to show this. There's going to be a tube that is going to connect this port right here that you're seeing the white of the floor paint in to this port over here behind the starter. And that tube is just going to make a nice U across the transaxle, and it's going to be, the heat is going to pipe out of this left side, the driver's side, and it's going to pipe back into this passenger side. So that's going to be how the heat is brought down and in and everything. And goes all the way up to the front of the cab and still does the floor and everything. And this is a look inside 1968 Deluxe engine bay with a beautiful ever start, which will always ever start, forever and ever and start. I should probably do something about that fuel breather that's not connected. That'll get something done to it. So there you have it. Right, and that's where we're at in this process of gas tank install. Much nicer than the dang, stupid, dumb thing that came with it. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna get welding. I'm gonna try and sit on this stool in here, but it might not work. Hey, it works. I love it. Going. may not stick. My settings are all off because I was messing with the welder the other day and running some different wire in it. So I gotta readjust my settings. Let's try that. Okay. But damn it. You know what, man? Might not even be worth trying the stool. I mean, a kneeler would work just as well. Probably better. But I thought the stool would be fun. It is kind of fun. That's too much wire. Whatever. Yeah, we're pushing a little. So, turn my wire speed down. We should be happy. Yes. Make a little tack up top, and then I think we could undo the bracket, or the tank, and weld the bracket up without the tank in here. Honestly, can probably just weld it up right in here. It's happy enough. Still pushing a little bit. And let's try that. This'll be fun. This'll be fun. This'll be fine. May have one hole. Yes. But it's not a big hole. We can get rid of that. But I'm going to pull the tank out of there. I'll let it cool. Maybe. Maybe not. Pull the tank out of there. And then weld the backside of the bracket. It'll be groovy. Right? Okay. Now I got to tell you, it is gorgeous outside today. Absolutely one of the most beautiful days in March that I can remember us ever having. It's feels like summer outside. It really does. And I am jamming myself inside a bus to weld a bracket. Like, people are like, Brandon, why aren't you having fun with your own cars? Because they don't run. They're not on the road. None of them. I got my truck. That's fun. I like that. I mean, I like this too. I'm not complaining. Am I complaining? Oh, I don't want to complain. That's not the point. This is fun. I should really vacuum those leaves out before I light them on fire. I mean, that'll be a good time too, but just a different sort of video. So this gas tank is infinitely better than the one that was in existence. Big old plastic hunk of junk that this whole thing came with. Let's see how hot this is. And I like that it's not plastic. I like that it's stainless. Oh, get that later. Corner's warm. It's not like hot. Bolt was hot. That was fun. That was not my smartest thing to have touched. Okay. One hole. Probably paddle that with a little brass from the backside. Get rid of it. I got this old light switch plate that's brass. Been using this thing for a while. It works really well. Starting to get chewed up a little bit, but aren't we all? I don't know what that means. All right, here we go. I wish this went lower, this stool. Wait a second, does this stool go lower? Where's the lowering thing on it? I don't think it goes lower. I don't even know where the lowering thing is. I think that's busted. Huh. It seems like it would go lower. Oh, yeah, there's a little lever thing, but it's broken off of there. I got another one, but whatever. Nobody's got the time for that. The other thing I can use is a brass rod. That's the other thing that's usable. We're going to try this light switch deal. Fill her up. All right, filled it. I lowered my setting, so that's why it sounded a little different. Now is the winter of our discontentment, made glorious summer by the son of yore. All right, we're going through the top, as Shakespeare would say. That's all Shakespeare. No, we're not. I don't know if I'm welding the backside of this bracket. Oh, baby, it doesn't need it. We're not welding the backside of that bracket. That's going to be a pain in the butt. A lot of wasted time for not much more security. Turning the welder off. Click. I'll still maybe leave the welder like around, because you never know, right? Here we go. Under there, let me show you. There we are. Bracket. It's cute, right? So, little insert in it. All welded up, nice and cute there. I'm going to spray that area white or some color, something. Paint it. And then install the tank and see how rigid it is. And if it's nice and rigid, then we're going to make the block-off plate for the top out of that steel right there. Boom. Already traced out. Nice and fancy-like. We're rocking and rolling on this thing. That's beautiful. I'm in love. Okay, let's spray some paint. What paint? Gray or white? White. Sure. It's white. Now while that dries, we can think about food. I'm excited. I'm having sushi tonight. I like sushi. It's good. I don't think I need this. Do I need that? I don't need that anymore. Quiet. Goodness, that thing just really wants to talk. Still talking. There's a little guy up there, one there. Oh man. How cool is that? Oh, is there one on here too? Yep. How cool is that? That's cool. All interior on this thing's going to get done at some future point. I'm just getting fiberglass itchiness all over myself. Now, with our cover plate in place, after the gas tank's there, right? We're going to have the cover plate and tank fill neck thing there. We're going to run a grommet on the cover plate. I'm going to be able to take my heater's electricity down into the cover plate area and on over to the battery where it's got a fuse it connects up to. Is that dry yet? I want that to be dry. Okay, I could cut the metal. I could cut the metal right now, at least to a rough shape. We're gonna have to do that anyway. So while this dries, I'm gonna start cutting that metal to a rough shape. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll do it right here. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. You thought I was? No, I wasn't going to do that. I'm careless and irresponsible sometimes, but only when it's fun. All right, metal. Nice. Nice thick metal. I don't know what gauge this is. 16 gauge. Now I know what gauge it is. Learn something new every day. Everything is in my shop, and everything is in my way. It's important to oil your tools, your air tools. Some oil in it. Too much oil, but I don't oil it enough, so that's the answer, right? That's not the answer. The right amount of oil is always the answer. You put excessive oil in, it just blows it out anyway. It's actually bad for the tool, but I put too much in. It says oil daily. Yeah. Well, at least it's got a lifetime warranty. This is a nice one. This guy. Ready, set. This'll work. Got my lines, stuff. You know, it's a nibbler, so it nibbles. You gotta start in where you can. Come on. Now the thing about a nibbler is it throws nibbly bits everywhere, and you gotta get them up because they will stick in everything. There's probably a ton of them in my shoe. There's one, but you know, you gotta get them up. Pain in the butt. You don't want to go sliding on the floor. You know, when I reinstall this engine, I'll be on my back some. You don't want one of those going into your back. No fun. I'd say it's better than watching the paint dry, kind of. The edge of this isn't too terribly sharp because the way that tool nibbles, But I mean, it'll cut you. Oh, that's nice. That's a pretty decent fit overall. I'll notch out a little bit for this bolt. I'll probably notch out a little for that bolt, maybe. I'll just clean up the ends. I mean, it's actually pretty decent shape overall. It's got a little waviness, but it just needs to be cleaned up around. And then we've got just enough overlap. I think what we're going to wind up doing, yeah, we've got a decent amount of overlap. I think we're just going to wind up putting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 sheet metal screws in it. And it should be happy like that. And keep in mind, this whole thing gets covered. Actually, I don't really need to trim out for those bolts. They're not in the way. Keep in mind, this whole thing gets covered by this beauty. Now, this has got a crack in it, I know. But, you know, it all gets hidden by that when the interior is reupholstered and everything. Or it can get hidden by something else, but it's a little stash spot, and that's, you know, where the gas heater will be, or the gas tank for the gas heater would be. Actually, it's not a bad spot to install the gas heater as well. And then you could put the gas tank under the back seat, kind of the opposite of what I've done here, putting the gas heater under the back seat. The advantage to installing the gas heater where it is under the back seat is that it's real clean flow back into the factory VW heating system. If you did this, you could flow it through like the heater boxes themselves. If you still ran heater boxes, you could go gas heater to heater boxes. Actually, that'd be kind of clever. But it might get pretty cold by the time it gets to the front, just being honest. Where it's at right now cuts some run time and some different insulation, and it'll have no smell to it. If it were going through the heater boxes and stuff, it can pick up kind of fumy, exhaust-related smells and things like that when you're at a stop and all that, because there's gaps around the folded metal. And all right, I think it's dry. I'm killing time. So I think the paint's dry. We're going to put our nicely shaped and cut panel. If I didn't show you already, that's what it looks like. We'll probably paint that a satin black, so it'll just hide real friendly. We still got to cut a hole in it for where the actual fill neck is going to come up and through. Now let's see about our gas tank install. I think it's going to be good on 3. Ta-da! Heck yeah. That's nice and secure. That can hold 5 liters of liquid. I actually think this is 7. I don't remember. I'll have to look. But there you go. That's going to be the fill. Diesel it up. Glug, glug, glug. Put this on here. Spin it down until you got 3 clicks, like it's all professional and everything. And yeah, I like this. I think this is good. I think this is really this is solid. This is a nice, again, totally removable except for the welded bracket, but you can, and it's gone. And so, you know, minimally invasive as far as everything goes. Could always drop a spare tire well back in. The coolest thing would be to weld up a diesel tank that was like the shape of the spare tire well and went down in there, and then that'd be so sweet. But we ain't got budget for that. Nuh-uh. So that's a future, you know. The other thing, too, is that could be retrofitted. You take all this out, weld up a tank like that, have it dropped in, and you could screw it right through the 10 or so bolt or screw holes that I'm going to put into this sucker. All right, so the next thing we got to do, plate, cut a hole in it, right? And I got to think about that for a second. Are we going to measure? How exactly are we going to cut that hole? We're going to take some proportions. and measure Montes. We're going to just eyeball it and wing it. We're going to see what we're doing here. I'm almost a fan of just winging it. Very tempting to just kind of say, all right, and draw a Sharpie line around it from the underside. And then cut the hole with enough gappage that it can drop down in there. And I got to come up with some sort of a rubber gasket fill around. I could even run caulking around it, honestly. I was planning on running caulking around the whole panel when it's in. It's not meant to be a removable panel, okay? It's meant to be a quickly constructed, semi-permanent panel. So I think we'll probably run some caulking around the fill neck when it's eventually all down and in there. Sharpie, 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 Sharpa. No Sharpies. Okay. All right, well, then I guess we just cry. Hiding in plain sight. Back under. Oh, yeah. That's real sweet. Yeah, all right. Here, I'm going to show you guys. Probably the glasses. And now you're in the cave with me. All right, so up there, fill neck, if you can see it, probably. I think you can. I think you can. There you go. See, it's pressed right against the board, and you can see the board's overlapping nice and all that stuff, and it's going to look pretty. Also, you can see we're pretty solid in here. There's the little welded up bit and the bracket and everything, and this is not going to be a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some lines around some things for the fill neck. The hardest part about this is going to be getting to the back side, maybe, because there's a bracket there and can't get under it or around it or through it. So maybe what we'll get is half of it, and we'll complete the radii when it comes out. Measure it up and swing it. There it is. Right? Cool. So don't forget my Sharpie in the future. I'll wear it. Okay. It's pretty dusty. I like that. That works. Wasn't exactly centered on that one. Yeah. There we go. That's what we're cutting into. That's what we're doing up and doing over. Okay, bottom side, top side. Cool. Now, admittedly, this isn't the cleanest of my working areas. But I mean, there's a lot happening in the shop right now. And I don't got a lot of room right now, so. Good old wrist breaker. We're going to go slow and steady and see if this works. Well, all right. As I was just walking back, get out of here, back through the shop, I was like, why are all these clips all over the floor? All those clamps I threw earlier. So, yeah. That's fun. A little bit cut you on the top side, because that's where it punched through. Bottom side's where we marked. All right. And now. Oh, that's so pretty. Honestly, that's about as nice as it gets. We're in good shape. I just got to clean up the edge, kind of straighten it out so it's not all wavy and everything. But once it's painted black, it's going to look okay. And then there you go. Screw it down into place. Caulk around it. That'll be nice. And it'll be happy. It'll be a happy little thing. Hopping in. That's it. That's all 12. Panels in. It's a good little drum, actually. Next step, hole. I don't know why I'm still in my welding shirt, too. Whatever, it's one of those days. Is it quitting time yet? It's close to quitting time. Let's get a hole back there. Make a hole. How big it need to be? Got 3 wires. We're gonna have a little, very delicate loom. You know what? Tell you what, I'm gonna use this for making my pilot, and then I'll come back on it with whatever. But we're gonna see what size hole we need. All right. Of the few different grommet options, I've decided to go with this one. It's gonna allow for the wiring to fit through with a loom once it's installed. And it'll be cozy, but it won't be so cozy that it's going to be a real pain in the butt to shove it down in there. And I want the loom around it as well. And you always have to allow for loom room. So that's what we're doing. I need to find my calipers, and I'll take a measurement on the inner dimension of the O-ring's lip, and then see what size I need to drill for. Got my calipers. Doesn't matter if it's in inches or millimeters, really, honestly. I'm back inside. It's very clever to see this fuel cap here. Can't wait until it's all done. Yep. I had to like walk it a little at an angle, which means that one of the flutes on it has probably started to dull. So have I. Man, it's got to be bigger. That's okay. You know what they say, bigger's better. This ain't Texas. All right, literally one step bigger. And I say that because it's a step drill bit. Step bit. I eyeballed this so well. It's right on the edge. And that's right where I wanted it. It wouldn't have mattered if it wasn't there, but it's just kind of nice when it works out the way that you'd dreamed about. Come on, grommet. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the grommet's a little deformed, but that's because I've got to deburr the underside. I'm going to take all the screws out. I'm going to deburr the back side of that. I'm going to paint this panel. Primer it, paint it, and primer it. And then, holy Moses, we're good. That's pretty much the end stages of this. After it's painted up and everything, all we got to do is reinstall it, caulk around it, and then keep going with the rest of the gas heater install. So, heck yeah, baby. Heck yeah, baby. Take the panel out. Hey, there we go. See how much of that metal is left as a burr there on the underside, so we got to file that flat. Clean up all the chips and everything. I'm going to put this back on the gas tank for now. The diesel tank, the fuel tank. And we are so close to completion. Oh, there's a lot of buildup on the bottom of this flashlight magnet. Oh, a nibble. Man, wait till that gets stuck in my hand. You'll see me screaming. If that were down there and I did one of those push-ups on it, whoo! Woohoo! More nibbles. Woo! Alright, I'm going to throw those in the trash. Yeah, rest of this is going to be pretty boring. I'm going to paint this up and beautify and file and all that stuff. And then screw it back down and caulk it. And you'll get to see it then. Because the rest of this is boring. Look at how pretty it is. That's super pretty, right? Install the grommet. You can see grommet right there, right? Yeah. Grommeted. Grommet. And now we can just pop this sucker in. There you go. Look at that. Look at how slick that looks. We're just going to see if I can fill this gap over here. And if I can, then party time. And if I can't, we cry. I don't know why I'm treating it like welding, where I build a pool and then I bring it across the edge, try and fill the hole. It's actually working. Widest part of the gappage. I think we're all right. I think it fell on in there, but I'm kind of built up, covered. I'm going to give it a moment and a half, and then I'll smooth around it, probably with a brush, something to control it, and clean up the excess and keep wiping it off with the degreaser and what have you. And I guess I should leave this out in case I have to continue to fill something. Shouldn't just button that up just yet. She likes to come and tell me what to do. Oh no, she's disappointed she can't get at her bed. Let me get you your bed. There's a Porsche part on it. Let me get you your bed, girl. There we go. I know you want the bed. There's the bed. There you go. And yeah, move the Porsche part. Yeah. I don't know if you can see her. You can't see her. She's off camera. But here's a Porsche part. That's not your Porsche part. No. No, it's not. Here's Addie. Yeah. You gonna make a bed? Okay, do it. Oh, we're just gonna lay on it as is. Oh, that's some depression chicken right there. All right. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Addie's had it. She's out. See you, girl. She's like, well, if we're done, we're done. Yeah. It filled up well enough. If I need to, I can make another little pass on it tomorrow. And, because it's going to take a while for that to cure. And I might make a pass on it tomorrow. I also might mask this off and spray all the caulking and everything black over here too. I don't know. It doesn't need to be because the area is going to be carpeted. It just would look a little bit nicer maybe. I don't know. And then got the wiring to work on and that kind of stuff. So, and, you know, plumbing that sort of thing. So right now I'll probably take a look in the engine bay and see about where I'm going to mount the fuel pump for this diesel heater. But, you know, check it out. You know, gas tank stuff, right? And it's nice. It's good. It's what it needs to be, and nothing more for right now. Yeah, we don't need to get all crazy with this. So, I like it. I dig it. I did it. Oh, I stepped in caulking. Man, someone could have told me. All right, well, I'm going to clean my shoe up. Here's the fuel tank for the diesel heater. I started plumbing the fuel hose, mounted the fuel pump there. It's a pusher, so you want it as close to the tank as possible. It's just a little 2-pulse kind of solenoid pump. And then we've got the grommet up there. The fuel pump wire running out of it. The fuel pump wire is tucked up over here. Zip tied to the... Out of my way. Zip tied to the bracket down there. Back in my way. Store all this fuel hose over here for now. Yeah. And then we've got the loomed power wire and ground wire coming over here. All the way over and down. It's fused in that little fuse and then runs to the battery, right? Okay, cool. And then a couple other things we've got going on. We got some looming over the fuel hose coming out of the gas tank, just so it won't get rubbed through on those hold downs. And then the tubing is installed. It's going to go over the nose cone of the transmission and back in the other side. And so this is the feed side on the left. Over on the passenger side is the exit for under the back seat. So that's everything for right now. I'm going to be installing the engine. We've got a switch in the dash now. This switch right here runs a booster blower motor. You can hear it fire on. It's nice and loud. And that makes sure that air comes out of up here for defrost. Okay? And that's in the original plumbing of the bus. And then inside the glove box is our friendly little gas heater. the venter. Oh, look at that. It's going to start heating for us. All right, and then I'll show you where that, I'll show you where the exhaust pipe is and the blower motor and all that. I'm going to let it run. It'll fumigate the hell out of me, but whatever. We're going to have some fun here. I won't die yet of exhaust inhalation. There's the exhaust. The heater hasn't fully fired up yet, but, you know, that's the little muffler pack in front of the rear wheel area there. And we're going to swing down under. I'm going to show you where I mounted the booster fan and how I went about doing that. So, going under the bus, going under the floors that we did. And here's the primary, well, there's the cold air intake, right? And the heater's on the other side of the panel there. This tube right here that my flashlight's tapping on, that's the primary heat tube that all the heat flows to the front dash with. Okay, and I've sectioned it here and done some slip fit joints. They're nice and tight, so you don't need to do anything crazy. But I've done some slip fit joints, and then I've got a blower here. Oh, you can hear the heater firing up. I've got a blower here that is a 3-inch diameter blower, so I had to adapt, and actually it's like 2.5-inch to 3-inch pretty easily. So all this is slip fitted together, and no, it's not going to go anywhere. It all is locked in really nice and tight, so it's not going to slide around or anything, but it doesn't need any clamps or anything on it. So it's all slip fitted together all the way through the front. And then if you want to take it out, you can loosen a screw up here, which would loosen this tube. You can shove that tube forward a little bit. This all loosens up a little bit. And I've got an anchor screw on the other side of the foot of the fan. It only needed one anchor, and this one is really close to this guide cable tube. So you can hear the heater firing up now, and it's gonna start making some exhaust out that exhaust tube. I can smell it. So, we walk around to the inside of the bus, and I'm going to open up the door just so I don't die. Today is not a good day to die. All right, so around the back of the bus here, we've got the gas tank fill, cleverly disguised behind the spare tire. Well, where the spare tire used to be. And if there were a little more budget with this, I would have built a custom gas tank that would have filled the spare tire well, but the spare tire well was all rusted out. So instead, we mounted a gas tank down below there, as you probably saw earlier. And there's that fuel tank with a little sight. You can see that it's full on fuel there. It'll just hang out nice and cozy there. Hello, little engine. All right, boombox setup back here. Nice speaker arrangement. That actually works. It's wired through to the radio, and that was with this thing when it came in. Here we have the brand new floors, all done up nice and pretty. The original mat over it, and they're not going to run the center seat anymore, so that's been eliminated. It'll go back to them, but down here under the back seat is where we have the heater mounted up. Here's the slide bar for the under the back seat heat, so you can open and close it down here. I'm at a bad angle for it, but something roughly like that. And down under, there's our beautiful little gas heater hanging out. Right? And it's plumbed through the factory plumbing, so you can see the hose goes out and then it goes down the driver's side of the Y pipe. This passenger side Y pipe is still the factory setup going to the out the back heat. And then it goes down, it goes to that blower fan in the center. So it would be going straight down here, go to the blower fan. It's going to come up through here when I turn the blower fan on for the back facing heat ventilation. And then around up in here, it'll come through the factory location up top here, and also come through the factory footwell location. So you can open this up and have heat come out of here. But all that's only going to flow when I turn this booster fan on, really, because the heater being under the back seat really only supplies the back seat with heat. So turn that guy on, and all of a sudden we've got air volume down here coming through pretty decent. And if I close that off, we got a lot of nice air volume coming up through here on the dash vents. Love by the owner, and it's ready for the road. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.